Hello everybody, welcome back to Bridges Brothers Barbecue. Well, as you see, we're talking ribs. This is about to start our Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S., which is a big holiday. Everybody seems to get out and they go to the beach or they go grilling. So today we're going to be doing barbecue. I've got 2 racks of St. Louis style spare ribs right here. And I've got 2 racks of loin back, also known as baby back ribs here. I'm going to be doing 2 different kinds. I think I'm going to be doing a dry rub baby back, and I'm going to be doing a Kansas City style spare rib, which involves a little glaze of barbecue sauce at the end. First thing I did before anything was I removed the membrane. That's what that is. It's just all the membrane and extra like goofy meat that was too thin or was dangling. Cut off the goofy meat and put that in there. I'm not wasting that. I'm gonna cook that for my dog so he can have a snack. I'm not gonna give him all the fat, but the meat that's still good, I'll be giving him that. So if you barbecue and have a dog, mine at least loves that. Anyway, so on the baby backs, I want to be seasoning with Killer Hog's Barbecue, the barbecue rub. This is his original. That was won him the most competitions. I really like this rub. And I'm also going to be using Heath Ryle's Barbecue garlic jalapeno rub as my base. So I'll be putting this on first, letting it sit, and about 10 minutes later, I want to put this on. On the other ribs, we're going to be doing a more sweet rib. So we're going Heath Ryle's Barbecue pecan rub as the base, and as the secondary on top, we're going to do the Heath Ryle's honey rub. So we're going to be doing a sweet rib, which is going to be the Kansas City style, which is going to be the spare ribs, and then we're going to be doing a more savory, which is going to be the baby backs. So I'm going to go ahead and prep these. I want to season them and let y'all see what it looks like when I'm done seasoning. All right, here we are about an hour and a half later. I let this rub stick onto the meat for a good hour while I got the smoker up to temp. There's my baby back and my other baby back and my 2 spare ribs in the middle. What I use as a binder on this may sound gross to most people, but I find it to be my favorite binder, especially for pork. Since pork kind of lacks a lot of flavor, it takes flavor really well. I use mayonnaise. I use Duke's mayonnaise as my binder. I put a really light coat on it. You can probably see how the meat looks white back there. That's actually the mayonnaise. So I'll put a mayonnaise binder, and people asking why. Well, if you think about it, it makes sense. It's got vinegar in it. It's got sometimes lemon juice in it. It's got oil in it. It's got all the things that you would want to put on your meat for extra flavor. So, you know, I did it a couple times. I really liked it, so I put mayonnaise on pork quite a bit when I barbecue. So anyway, the 2 in the middle are my spare ribs, and they're going to be Kansas City style in a few hours. I'm going to glaze them. The 2 on the ends, the baby backs on the ends, are going to be a dry rub. And as of right now, we're just going to set the temp. Got the temp set to 165. I got it in the side of my baby back because the baby backs cook faster than the spare ribs. So when it hits 165, I'm going to pull the baby backs and wrap them, and then I'll put another probe in the. I'll keep probing the spare ribs to see where they're at after I wrap the baby backs, and when they hit 165, I'll pull them and wrap them as well. So I got some cherry wood. I'll be throwing some cherry wood on the fire later to give it a little bit of some cherry flavor. So cherry goes very well with pork. So I'm going to do a cherry smoke. I'm smoking with red oak today as my base. So there's my red oak sitting there warming up. My cherries over there. I'm going to put 1 block on in about an hour. And as of right now, I'm just going to close up the smoker and I'm going to get ready to rock and roll. We're going to be smoking today at between 225 and 275, anywhere in that fluctuation. I don't want it to get close to 300 today. So 275 is my, I got it set, 275 is my target temp. So if it gets too hot, I'll have to open some doors or close some doors. I'll have to try to reduce the heat in the smoker. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and close this up, and I'll check back with you when I am going to spritz. Oh, I'm spritzing with a combination of 2 parts apple juice, 1 part bourbon, and 1 part apple cider vinegar. That's going to be a really yummy combination to put on these ribs. So anyway, I'll talk to y'all later after I get ready to spritz. All right, this is what we've done here. These ribs are the baby backs. Remember, these are the dry rub. These have been on the smoker for about 2 hours and 45 minutes. They hit 165 internal. I pulled them, and I'm getting ready to wrap them. I use some good quality butter. This is Kerrygold. I'm going to lay down a little bit of brown sugar and a little more of the barbecue rub. I want to put the meat face down, and then over the top of it, I'm going to pour a little bit of apple juice and put a little bit more of that rub on top. I'll show you what that looks like right before I wrap. All right, and that's what it looks like. I'll put a little extra butter on top. As you see, that's the apple juice I poured on. A little extra of the barbecue rub. The butter's melting underneath, and I'm going to wrap this up. I'll show you what they both look like when I put them back on the smoker. These go back on for at least another 30 minutes, but this is going to be more of a texture thing, not a temperature thing. So about every 30 minutes or so, I'm going to check it for tenderness. And tenderness is if you pick this up and it starts bending on its own, or if you can take these bones, you need to look to see these bones pull back. The meat's going to pull back and expose the bones. If you can twist the bones, then it's the perfect tenderness. But right now, I'm going to put it back on, and I'm going to check it. If we are looking for a temp, I'm looking for like 204 to 206, somewhere in there. So I'll show you what these look like when I finish wrapping them. Okay, these baby backs are about to go back on for at least 30 minutes. Again, every 30 minutes I'm going to check them for tenderness. They are wrapped with meat side down. So this is the underside facing up. The reason why you want meat side down is all that butter and the apple juice and the extra rub. You want that with the meat on top of it to help tenderize the meat and add more flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and check the spare ribs now after I put these back on and see where they're at. All right, after 6.5 hours, these are the final product. This is my Kansas City spare ribs. I think they turned out pretty good. Got some good pull back on the bones, so that's good. And these are my Memphis-style baby backs that has a dry rub on them. Once I slice into these, I'm letting them rest for about 10 or 15 minutes. But once I slice into these, I'll show you the smoke penetration, and I'll show you how juicy they are. And I can't wait to dig into these. Okay, so this is the final product. This is one rib from each style. You got the spare rib on top, and you got the baby back on the bottom. I just want to show y'all the smoke ring and how juicy these ribs are. I mean, these are so juicy. All that fat rendered out the way I want it to. There's a really nice smoke ring. Again, if I didn't mention it earlier in the video, I used chunk charcoal, lump charcoal, Jealous Devil as the coal base, and I burned the majority of red oak, and then I threw in 2 pieces of cherry during the smoke. But as you see, these are glistening with juice. I mean, go ahead and squeeze it. I mean, you see the juices coming out. That's the baby back. And baby backs, a lot of people will dry these out because there's so little fat on them. And the spare ribs, look at that. Yes, oh man. Sorry, I'm trying to lick my fingers. So anyway, There's a big debate that goes on that says spare ribs are better than baby backs are better than spare ribs. My thoughts on it is, eat whatever rib you like. I like them both. So whenever I do smoke ribs, I know some people like spares, some people like baby backs. I'll do a rack of each. Just like you guys saw for the weekend, I did 4 racks total, 2 spares and 2 baby backs. But I encourage y'all to cook and eat whatever y'all like. You can use dry rub or sauce, either one of them. I had great feedback from my my family that said that the sauced ones were their favorites, and then also had more people said actually the unsauced baby backs were their favorite. So you know, about 8 people ate, and it was probably half and half. Half people preferred the spares and half people preferred the baby backs. So final thoughts. Well, this is my first cook of baby backs or spare ribs, period, ribs at all, that I've cooked on the offset. My other ribs that I've done in the past have been on a pellet grill, and I must say, this is the way to do it. These were so much smokier, so much more full of flavor, and I dare say it's so much more tender and juicy than I've ever gotten off of a pellet grill. And I've cooked probably, I don't know, 15 to 20 racks on a pellet grill over the last year, but this is my first time doing it on an offset, and I'm just blown away by the product. But I wanted to go ahead and show y'all that the end result was absolutely worth it. I highly encourage each and every one of you to go out and try this. If not on an offset, try it any way you can. That being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope to do another rib video in the future, one with better production value, when I actually get a helper to help me film and do these reviews and this cooking process. But until then, this is the format I'm going to have to do it, because I'm a one-man band right now. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Before I forget, I know everybody likes to see the end result of these ribs, about how they bite. Are they tender? Are they fall off the bone? So here we go. Here's the spare rib. Perfectly tender. Not fall off the bone, but all that juice inside of it still glistening. Again, I'm going to take a bite right into the bone. That's what you want to see. You don't want fall off the bone. If you fall off the bone, it's overcooked. That's a perfect rib. Now, for the baby backs, same thing. We'll take a bite at the top. Same thing. Perfectly tender. Perfect bite. I'm going to take a bite off this other side. There's more meat on this side. Right to the bone. It's not fall off the bone, but I could, if I wanted to, just peel the meat off and eat it. It's that tender. I mean, I'm just tearing the meat off. So I want to go ahead and show you guys. This rib recipe is perfect. The cooking process is perfect. Shout out to these guys who invented these rubs. These rubs are great. Both of them. I highly recommend both. Go out and try both. Anyway, this is really it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one.